révolution majeure des entreprises pour répondre aux défis de demain en vue de favoriser l'insertion professionnelle et garantir l'employabilité. Nos enseignements sont dispensés par des professionnels aguerris dans un campus doté de salles de cours ultramodernes et connectées, des salles multimédia, cités universitaires, de métiers, restaurants, laboratoires, ainsi que des bus pour le transport des étudiants, entre autres. Avec l'Institut La Majestueuse d'Azoa, développez vos talents, réalisez vos rêves.
Ici, l'université qui garantit un emploi avec ses 3 campus offre des formations professionnelles pour les sections francophones et anglophones en échendi, BTS, licence, master, tout en assurant le transport gratuit de ses étudiants. ISTI forme dans plusieurs filières: agriculture et élevage, sciences et techniques biomédicales, travaux publics, photographie audiovisuelle, énergie renouvelable, communication des organisations, journalisme, industrie alimentaire, télécommunications et réseaux, génie informatique, ingénierie de la décentralisation, ingénierie pétrolière, comptabilité des entreprises, gestion et commerce-vente, industrie de l'habillement, tourisme, hôtellerie et restauration, capacité et licence en droit, hydraulique, traitement des eaux et assainissement. À l'USTI, le transport est toujours gratuit, internet gratuit et des infrastructures à la pointe de la technologie. Rendez-vous dans les campus de Niom et Omnisport à Yaoundé. Contact 679 225 896 698 844 487. USTI, l'université d'avenir pour l'assurance, diplôme, emploi.
Le centre de médecine traditionnelle Dr Moussa Ambrose Modern Herbal Clinic vient aujourd'hui une fois de plus pour mettre face à face avec vos problèmes de santé. Nous sortons fraîchement d'une campagne où nous avons parlé des problèmes prostatiques. Nous avons parlé des problèmes liés à la prostate. Nous avons parlé des personnes du 3e âge. Et il était question pour nous de rappeler à tous ceux-là qui souffrent de la prostatique, à tous ceux-là qui souffrent des problèmes liés à la prostate, que vos souffrances ont désormais une fin. Vous avez désormais une solution à tous vos problèmes liés à la prostate. Le centre de médecine traditionnelle Dr Moussa Ambrose Modern Herbal Clinic vient donc vous donner un peu du sourire. Parce qu'en fait, quand je vois ce vieux papa aujourd'hui, qui, en dehors de porter le poids de son âge, doit porter le poids d'une sonde qui traîne mal. Je me rappelle ce papa que j'ai reçu hier, qui traîne une sonde depuis 15 ans. Je pleure. J'ai des larmes aux yeux. Et c'est pour ça que je reviens aujourd'hui pour vous reparler des problèmes de la prostatite. Une personne qui urine fréquemment, une personne qui urine plusieurs fois la nuit. Pendant la nuit, vous vous retrouvez à sortir 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fois pour aller faire pipi. C'est un problème. Une personne qui a le jet d'urine très faible. Ça veut dire que vous sentez comment votre vessie urinaire s'appuie, elle est pleine, les urines veulent sortir, mais lorsque vous retirez votre verge, il faut encore attendre quelques minutes avant que les urines...
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Friday's edition of our English newscast on Info Television. Our top stories. In Yaoundé this September 19, 2025, the Steering Committee of the Cameroon Education Reform Project held its 10th ordinary and 9th extraordinary sessions. The session was chaired by the Minister of Basic Education, Professor Laurent Serge Etundingwa. And Cameroon markets like Mokolo are experiencing a surge in sales as parents rush to purchase warm clothing for their kids amid the rainy season. Those were our headlines. Details right ahead. Welcome back. And as you heard in one of our lead stories, the steering committee of the Cameroon Education Reform Project held its 10th and 9th extraordinary sessions this September 19, 2025. The session chaired by the Minister of Basic Education, Professor Laurent-Serge Etundingwa, aimed at assessing the midterm results of the CERSP 2025 Action Plan. As you tell us, Jessica Ndiwu.
The Steering Committee of the Cameroon Education Reform Project, CERSP, chaired by Professor Laurent-Serge Etundingwa, Minister of Basic Education, in the presence of Dr. Viviane Asherikilo, Secretary of State to the Ministry of Basic Education, and committee members, met to evaluate the implementation of midterm activities. The second session was devoted to the validation and adoption of the action plan and budget for the following year.
It is essentially to evaluate the work that has been done in the last 6 months or so. This is a partial evaluation of the plan of action that we drew up before now. And we also want to evaluate the extent to which the applications of the recommendations that were made in the last sessions have been carried out. It is also a time to evaluate how well we have worked and how the World Bank perceives the work that we have done on the field, so as to encourage them to give us some more funding to finish the program that is meant to end on the 31st of December this year.
Currently in its second phase, the project targets over 1 million pupils without birth certificates. A framework agreement signed in July 2025 between the Ministry of Justice and CERSP has mobilized 1.2 billion CFA francs to address this challenge.
We are gracious to the World Bank through the PAREC project for having given Cameroon the tune of about 9.6 billion to carry out its activities. And one of the crucial activities that we've been carrying out and for which we've received extra funding is the establishment of birth certificates for our children. You know, without the birth certificates, they cannot do their conclusive end-of-year examination and, of course, examinations. So we will evaluate what we did before now and project on what we are supposed to be doing before the end of the project on the 31st of December 2025.
The Secretary of State expressed gratitude for the project already accomplished while acknowledging the challenges that still remain.
So far, it's been so good, and we want to congratulate all those who have been working, the coordinator of the PAREC project and his team for the work that they've been doing. We also want to thank all the partner ministries who have worked together to ensure that we accomplish the successes that we are evaluating today. There are challenges, and we want to also look into how we can surmount the challenges that come up as we discussed throughout the day.
The program's first phase saw approximately 9.8 billion CFA francs disbursed for implementation. Remarkable progress continues with over 5,200 schools now enrolled in the performance-based financing scheme for the 2024-2025 school year. All these schools have opened functional accounts with Campost, marking a significant step forward in transparency and efficiency. With billions already invested, thousands of schools enrolled, and fresh resources mobilized to reach over 1 million children without birth certificate. The steering committee says the Cameroon Education Reform Project is steadily shaping the future of education, although challenges remain on the path ahead.
With the presidential election just weeks away, Elections Cameroun has unveiled a tactile voting aid to ensure that persons who are visually impaired can cast their ballots on October 12, 2025, an initiative which is warmly welcomed by those concerned. Jessica Ndiwu completes that story.
Elections Cameroon has introduced a tactile pocket to facilitate voting for persons with visual impairment. According to Elecam, this innovation brings an end to their reliance on assistance during elections and guarantees the discretion and confidentiality of their choice at the ballot box.
Ça va nous aider à
It's going to help us to go out and vote with autonomy, without being conditioned by someone who can deceive us when we want to vote for one candidate, but they'll give you the other.
Mais il te donne un autre candidat.
With the tactile pocket on the ballot paper you have chosen, there's a candidate's name, number and party, so you can't make a mistake. You just choose the pocket for the candidate you want to vote for and take out the ballot paper that's inside the pocket. On October 12, visually impaired voters will, for the first time, exercise their civic duty independently through the use of the tactile aid.
Chaque candidat aura
Each candidate will have the number of tactile dots in the right-hand pocket, so that those who cannot read Braille can refer to them there. Visually impaired voters have welcomed the introduction of the tactile aid, praising it as a significant step towards inclusive elections. The device will allow them to identify candidates on the ballot, mark their choice in secrecy, and cast their vote independently on October 12.
Ça ne frustre personne que tu aies appris le braille ou pas.
It doesn't matter whether you have learned Braille or not, because if it's number 1, there's only one dot visible on the key, so it's so practical. You don't need to have all your qualifications or to be literate.
Nous disons merci.
We would like to thank Elecam for the work they have done and say that we are going to vote with complete autonomy and confidence. The initiative aims to familiarize beneficiaries with the newly introduced tactile aid, enabling them to identify candidates on the ballot, mark their choice in secrecy, and cast their vote independently.
Rural women and youths of the Septembre Valley Division of the South Region have reaffirmed their unconditional support for President Paul Biya as their candidate in the upcoming presidential election. This was during a guided tour to the newly constructed nursery, primary and practicing school and the emergency unit of the Ambam District Hospital. Details in this report.
Thanks to the Circle of Friends of Cameroun, CERAC, under its founder, Chantal Biya, the oldest primary school in the Septembre Valley Division of the South Region of Cameroon has been given a facelift, transforming old infrastructure into a modern environment for learning for pupils of the said institution, with nursery and primary sections. At the time of a guided tour of this infrastructure, pupils were seen going about the normal business of the day, very attentive in class and enjoying the precious gesture from the Circle of Friends of Cameroon, CERAC. Created in 1935, its modern facilities give hope and encouragement to the local population to send their children to school for an education. The representative of the First Lady proceeded to the Ambam District Hospital, officially handed over to the state of Cameroon, a building entirely constructed and equipped by CERAC, dedicated to the emergency unit. This was a gesture highly saluted by the local population.
In the Septembre Valley, we are extremely grateful to Madame Chantal Biya, founder and president of CERAC, for her initiative that has brought significant relief to people with sickle cell disease in our border region with Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon and Gabon. We especially thank her for the donations sent to those with sickle cell disease in the Septembre Valley, thanks to the involvement of Madame Lydie Zemeka and Madame Nicole Bikoro, founder president of Sickle Cell Disease Associations in Cameroon.
Nicole Bikoro, merci beaucoup. Moi-même, j'ai un enfant drépanocytaire.
I'm deeply grateful to Madame Chantal Biya for the donation she made to our community. As a mother of a child with sickle cell disease, I'm particularly touched by this initiative. I'm proud of Madame Chantal Biya for her commitment to supporting people with sickle cell disease. Thank you for her valuable support.
De maman.
It should be noted that the First Lady, who is UNESCO's Goodwill Ambassador, founded CERAC in 1995. The association is credited with several humanitarian outreaches across Cameroon, including building schools, making donations to hospitals, reaching out to disaster victims, and fighting against HIV/AIDS.
And we remain in Ambam to say, in a ceremony rich in sound and color, keys of the Ambam District Hospital and Elementary School have been handed over to the directors of both institutions. This was during a ceremony presided over by the representative of Mrs. Chantal Bia, founder of the Circle of Friends of Cameroon, at the Ambam ceremonial ground. Jude Kenji reports.
The ceremony began with ecumenical prayers for various religious leaders thanking God for the humanitarian gesture from CERAC under its founder, Chantal Bia, and for the blessings and protection of the presidential couple. Presided over by the representative of the First Lady this Wednesday at the ceremonial ground of Ambam, a locality in the Septembre Valley division of the South region of Cameroon. The keys to the emergency unit of the Ambam District Hospital and the government nursery and primary practicing school, constructed, renovated, and equipped by Circle of Friends of Cameroon, CERAC, were officially handed over to the education and health sectors of the locality for the benefit of the population. The event was marked by donations of agricultural tools to the rural women and youths of the Septembre Valley division. Dr. Grace Jongute, representing the First Lady, presented several farm inputs to farmers and youth groups in the South region, aiming to combat poverty. The items distributed included pesticides, spray cans, and wheelbarrows. She stated that Chantal Bia is profoundly preoccupied with the well-being of children and youth and the ongoing fight against poverty in Cameroon.
To fight against social exclusion, which is a source of insecurity and social division. This is why we have provided various materials and equipments to rural women and youths of Vallée du Tem division in order to strengthen the production capabilities. These women and young people are enterprising and dynamic. They need our help to live up to the hopes placed in them. While reassuring you that I will be your spokesperson, I must say that much remains to be done in your division, as well as across the country. The government is putting in great efforts and resources to have things done. To the best of its ability, CERAC will be in its own way contributing to these realizations. Our commitment to the development of the neediest of the compatriots remains unwavering. Given the numerous requests, our social and humanitarian actions follows principle of rotation. In other words, each year the CERAC caravan stops in only one division per region. Our last visit to the Septembre Valley was in 2021. I will let you to figure out how long it will be before we return. Given that the South region has 4 divisions, and when we do come back, it will not be to the same subdivision.
The ceremony was attended by personalities of various ranks, including Dr. Cyril Edu Allo, Director General of Budget, Amanclaude Abanda, Resident Representative of EIE Cameroon, and President of the UNESCO ICT Chair for Central Africa, the Mayor of Ambam, Samson Zomo Ovono, as well as parliamentarians, municipal, traditional, and religious authorities from the Septembre Valley Division. Rich in sound and color, the event was graced by various artists, giving it the grandeur it deserves. rural women and youth of the Thames Valley Division, happy and satisfied with the gifts from Serac, reaffirmed their unflinching support to President Paul Biya as their candidate for the upcoming presidential election in October. All that begins well, ends well.
And let's talk something else now, as Cameroon markets like the Mokolo market are experiencing a surge in sales as parents rush to purchase warm clothing for their kids amid the rainy season. This brings joy to vendors despite the fact that some customers complain of increased prices. Mimi Tiobo made that remark in the following report.
With the rainy season in full swing in Cameroon, parents are rushing to the market to buy warm clothing for their kids. The goal is to keep them cozy and warm, despite the chilly rains. Due to this, some vendors express their joy as it has boosted markets for them during this season.
Concerning
the dresses for cold, since the rainy season started, all is okay with people who are into selling dresses for cold, like pullovers, trousers, joggings. Everyone into this business succeeds. Mokolo Market remains a popular destination for parents seeking warm dresses, pullovers, jackets, and other clothing items. The market vendors are capitalizing on the demand, offering a wide range of warm clothing options. Since the rainy season started, since there is a very strong climate these days, the best possibility to be protected are pullovers. These materials, it permits the children to remain warm and not to catch cold. The rainy season has brought a welcome boost to Cameroon's market, with parents eager to keep their kids warm and cozy. While some customers are grumbling about prices, vendors are thrilled with the surge in sales. We have come to buy pullovers for the children, but we realize that the products are very expensive and we can't really afford it. We are here to see what we can do with the little we have. As the rainy season continues, it's likely that markets like Mokolo will remain busy, catering to the needs of parents and their children.
The population of Duke in the Mbam and Inubu division will soon experience transformation with two major projects ongoing, notably the construction of a bridge, classrooms and more. When completed, the agricultural basin will experience a boom in agricultural productivity and development. Phillips Enchi throws more light.
Located in the Mbam and Inubu division of the Center region, Duke remains an agricultural hub and a leading producer of cocoa and plantain in the division. Some inhabitants continue to profit from cultivating these key crops.
What actually pushed me into the cultivation of cocoa was the death of my father. I was left with my younger sisters and I had nothing to do. So in order to assist them, I had to engage into farming.
Since the creation of this administrative unit, the population has been struggling to access electricity, coupled with poor road access across the Mbam River, as canoe remains the sole means of transportation. This hardship is now becoming a fading memory for the people. Thanks to the public investment budget, the population will gain access to electricity in Duke in a few months, an announcement that has left the population in jubilation.
For years now, and even during the era of my grandparents, we've never had the opportunity to witness electricity apart from the bush lamps and torchlight. We can now see electric poles planted and it is getting towards the town. We are very happy about that. Electricity will be here very soon, meaning in no distant time, and all of us will be connected to electricity. We are happy about it.
Work on the bridge is set to begin in a few days, a long-awaited project that the local population has been eagerly anticipating.
The construction of the bridge is almost done. We are very happy for this because it is going to help neighboring villages too. It has been our wish to see a bridge that connects us and our villages come to reality. Concerning the bridge, it is an important project as it is going to help us transport our agricultural product from the farm to town. The bridge in question is a project that was initiated long before we were born. As you can see, we are here today and it is a reality. Work is ongoing and we are very, very happy about it.
These two major projects will definitely give a new face to this locality, which is considered the breadbasket of the Mbam and Enugu division.
Marie-Françoise Ewolo, CRTV journalist, has been honored as she retires after 38 years of exemplary journalism, leaving behind a legacy of elegance, professionalism and dedication. This was during a ceremony chaired by Charles Ndongo, Director General of Cameroon Radio Television. Let's watch.
Marie-Françoise Ewolo, the legendary golden voice of CRTV Radio, has been honored this September 18, 2025, as she retired after an impressive 38 years career in journalism. The ceremony celebrated her remarkable legacy, marked by elegance, professionalism and dedication to journalism.
Marie-Françoise Ewolo vient de nous replonger dans l'histoire.
Marie-Françoise Ewolo just leaves us in history. Her journey with the radio and her journey in the radio. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to 1 p.m. was her personal signal. This 18 September 2025, she has accepted to offer her last broadcast. As the Director General of CRTV, I am happy to salute with enthusiasm, delightment, her work, her journey, her engagement and our personal relationship. As a renowned journalist, Marie-Françoise Ewolo has been an iconic figure in Cameroonian journalism, known for her distinctive voice and hosting of the 1 p.m. news broadcasts on CRTV Radio.
Je voudrais te dire que tu dois rester digne.
I want to tell you that you have to remain respectful on your journey, as we all know. Because you were not seeing yourself as you were talking, we watch you live today. Come back home and keep an eye on all the family that are waiting. Her impact extends beyond her journalism, inspiring generation of journalists and becoming a living memory of Cameroon's national radio. Dear friends, dear colleagues, dear young journalists, dear old colleagues who are here today, dear members of my family, with a lot of emotions today, I stand in front of you with a humble heart and of recognition. After many years in service of CRTV, I take another route today, that of full resting, a moment of simple transition and also a moment of gratitude and reflection. The ceremony was chaired by Charles Ndongo, Director General of the Cameroon Radio Television, attended by the Minister of Basic Education, Professor Laurent Serge Etuningwa, Philippe Balgaboa, Minister in charge of Special Duties at the Presidency, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Gregoire Owuna, friends, collaborators and families who gathered to bid her farewell in her next career journey and celebrate her remarkable time at CRTV Broadcasting House. This tribute acknowledged her contribution to Cameroonian journalism and her enduring impact on the profession.
Cameroon's 2025 presidential election unfolds under a tightly regulated framework. This goes from the official campaign launch on September 27 to the proclamation of results and the winner's oath-taking. Jude Kenji in the following report presents what the Electoral Code stipulates.
According to the Electoral Code, the official campaign period runs from September 27 to October 11, 2025, ending at midnight before voting day. The Electoral Code mandates that candidates notify ELECAM and local authorities at least 24 hours before holding rallies, with campaign materials required prior endorsement to ensure they do not incite violence or threaten national unity. However, these regulations have been implemented. Voting on October 12 follows a first-past-the-post system, where the candidate with the most vote wins. ELECAM oversees the process using biometric verification to minimize fraud. With result protocols due by October 17th, the Constitutional Council alone holds the authority to proclaim definitive results by October 27, 2025, within 15 days of the vote. Additionally, electoral dispute must be filed within 72 hours of poll closure, with the Constitutional Council rendering final decisions within 10 days. Following the proclamation of results, the president-elect must take the oath before Parliament and the Supreme Court by November 11, 2025, commencing a 7-year term. It should be noted that Cameroon's 2025 presidential election, scheduled for October 12, is governed by a stringent electoral framework that outlines procedures from the official campaign launch to the winner's oath taking. The process occurs amid a politically charged environment marked by restrictions on civic space, allegations of inequitable implementation of rules, and security challenges.
And in news out of Cameroon, unrest grows in Jerusalem as protesters demand an end to Israel-Gaza's offensive attacks. And in Congo, health officials race to contain a fast-spreading Ebola attack that has already claimed 31 lives. Jessica Ndiwum compiled all of that in this report.
Protesters gather in Jerusalem demanding an end to Gaza offensive. The protest came as Israel pressed ahead with a major ground offensive in Gaza City that has forced nearly 250 Palestinians to flee, according to the United Nations. Large parts of the city have already been destroyed in earlier raids, and hundreds of thousands remain trapped. 4 Israeli soldiers were killed by an explosive device during an operation in Rafah, marking the first casualties since the new offensive began. The war has killed at least 65,141 Palestinians, according to Gaza's health ministry, and 460 Israeli soldiers since the ground invasion began in October 2023. Meanwhile, Congo Ebola deaths top 31 as authorities rush to vaccinate. The disease is spreading rapidly as more than 900 contacts have been identified so far, according to the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization said this on Thursday that 31 of 38 confirmed Ebola cases have been resulted in deaths in southern Congo, where authorities are battling a new outbreak of the dead virus. More than 500 healthcare workers and contacts have received their vaccination, offering them crucial protection, said a medical doctor, Patrick Otim, an official at World Health Organization in Africa's program. In other news, Palestinians keep fleeing from Gaza City and northern Gaza Strip following daily strikes as Israeli forces press on with a new ground offensive in Gaza City. More people and long lines of vehicles are seen leaving, with some taking more than 24 hours to move. Israel is waging a major ground offensive in Gaza City that has forced nearly 250,000 Palestinians to flee, according to the United Nations. Hundreds of thousands remained in the city, the territory's largest and already in ruins from nearly 2 years of war and struggling with famine. The latest Israeli operation, which started on Tuesday, further escalates a conflict that has rolled the Middle East and likely pushes any ceasefire further out of reach. The war in Gaza began when Hamas-led militants stormed into southern Israel on October 7, 2023, killing around 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and abducting 251 others. 48 hostages, fewer than half believed to be alive, remain in Gaza.
And that news out of Cameroon takes us to the end of tonight's edition of our news. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for your keen attention and stay in the company of our programs. Have a lovely weekend.